So we have a little bit of venison here tonight that my son and I are going to try to make some jerky out of. Best way to do that, a little bit of liquid smoke, soy sauce, Worcester sauce, a little onion and garlic powder, salt and pepper. Very simple recipe. I don't always do the back strap, but I may do that tonight. And then 2 pieces of the roast right here. Some of us, they call this the football roast, the back ham. So it's a great piece for cutting up. It dehydrates really well, so we're gonna do that. So I don't have any here, so I don't have to put on hair net, but thanks for tuning in. Okay. This is the football roast, and it dehydrates really well. It's mostly muscular, so I've already trimmed all the fat a little bit. I will cut down whatever I can right here. But as you slice it if you don't have a typical slicer, but this is why the football roast works out so well, because you can see that right here slices very well if you got the right knife. That's a little thicker than I like, so I'm going to focus on going a little thinner. And you can harden this up, put it in the freezer for maybe 30 minutes, and it will harden this up a little bit for slicing purposes, but I'm okay. I'm pretty experienced in doing this. This is probably my 15th or 16th time doing this. So I'm gonna split all this up. When you split it up, here's my marinade, all the stuff I just mentioned. I'm gonna put this in here. I'm gonna soak it overnight. And this gives it the flavor you're looking for right before you dehydrate it. But the rest of it, and you can cut it down however many pieces. When you buy it at the stores in the bag, it kind of looks like that. It's a little thicker right here. So, tell you what I may do is cut that a little bit. Make that like kind of a little slender spot. And that's more of your little slick piece. Same thing, you just want to keep it kind of consistent. That's kind of thick too, so I'm going to cut the top thick part off. That'll be a little strip. It dehydrates better, but you can make it thin like that. And I don't need a contraption. I don't need, the little 1-inch little board. I tried that stuff. I don't like it. This is just simple and easy. It's a little wider now, so I'm gonna probably cut it this way. There's really no perfect science to this other than making sure you can do whatever you wanna, you can handle as far as cutting. So that's a nice little strip. That's your perfect little strip. Knife skills do come into play with this, which I have none of, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to do something cool. Cut this off. Got to position it a little bit. I probably could have left this, maybe frozen this a little bit better, or you can get a fillet knife, but I'm okay with that. I think that's a pretty good skill. I mean, pretty good set right here. Marinate it, and I may need to add a little bit more marinade when I get done before I dehydrate. But I typically will put steaks in my back strap, but tonight I think I will go ahead and probably make some more jerky for the kids to be able to take to school and eat. Again, this is a thick piece, so what I'm gonna do with a thicker piece, so I'm gonna make a Slim Jim out of it. That's a Slim Jim. And then your nice little piece. All right, thanks. So my 2 rows ended up making a ton of potential jerky. Obviously dehydrating it comes down big time, but that's a good amount right there. So I'm gonna soak that overnight in a bag. But I wanted to show you guys here some more little pieces right here. Actually, this one's a little bit thick. I'm gonna cut this right here. Just make that one a stick. This will be a stick, and then that's a little flat piece. Like these flat pieces, kind of what you get at the store when it dehydrates down. But what I wanted to show you, more sticks. Put that down. The back strap, a good way to do the back strap, and most people don't know this, and I started getting the butcher to do this, and I realized, hey, I can do this myself and not have to send it. First of all, you always want to trim all the fat you can on a piece of meat. This one has a little bit right here. You want to trim all that off. If you're not grounding it up, you don't want that. It's called talon or whatever on the deer. So make sure you clean it up real nice. And I'm going to take this little silk skin off too as well. That's the stuff you don't want, right? This is the stuff that makes venison, when people cook it, they go like, I don't know if I really like this. And it's this type of stuff. It's the stuff you don't want. So you have to cut all that off. So for me, if I'm always cutting meat, I'm cutting off a good portion of this. And the reason I'm doing it is because it improves the taste quality of your meat. So you get just full on meat. Here's another little piece. I'm gonna take this off, but I'm getting to what I want to show you. Instead of, like I said, I have enough jerky right now. I do need to sharpen this knife. This is how you guys should cut up your tenderloin. So it's all pretty much skinned up right now. Instead of doing like maybe a 1-inch steak, you would want to do a 3-inch steak like this. And then I learned this from the butcher. The butcher was telling me about it. And then you split the difference right here on your meat, but not all the way down. And then you can fold it over like this. It's kind of like a butterfly steak, I guess, for all you meat guys out there if you want to smoke it. But instead of just having a fillet, you can kind of get a better presentation on a steak, so to speak, like this, but without cutting it all the way through. So I will freeze this way, and that looks more like a 6-ounce steak than a fillet. So that's the way I like to preserve our back straps in the freezer. All right, all done. Here's my butterfly steaks. We'll eat these quick, so I know it's not vacuum sealed, which I'm okay with that. I just get as much air out as I can. This is a heavy, stronger seal. Freezer bag, so that's one. As I got down to when it thinned, I couldn't butterfly these, but what I did is cut it off in about 6-inch sections and then split it. So here are some little Wagyu looking type steaks, and then the marinade for the jerky. But I'll show you how that turns out, but we love this stuff. Neat, I did that. All right, you turn off.
Right.
All right. Have a nice little opener. So if I don't have a accident right here, I'll rinse off the back of the bag if I need to in a second. But if you don't have one of these little holders,
well, this one's gonna have the chili.
you need one of these little holders.
Oh, yeah. Pour half of that into your half. It's a delicious stuff.
Again, I like to get all the air out.
A little bit more.
This will marinate overnight for 24 hours before I put it on the dehydrator.
You want to do the rest?